With your mother.
Your mother.
Your mother.
My mother!
We're alive, guys. Stop.
I'm just saying,
Friends.
if one of your mothers could tweet out the stream, it'd be great.
Well, Maranya knows we're a bunch of idiots, and she's the audience, so.
She went ahead and tweeted it.
I think she left. That's right. Tonight, guys, we're talking about blah, 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 blah.
I don't say blah, blah, blah. Ooh.
You do say blah, blah, blah. You just did.
Yes. The Night of the Vampire. Dracula lives.
I rebooted for this.
You knew what you were getting yourself into, sir.
You know, you're the one who suggested this for this week, you know? So
I didn't suggest. Never mind.
You want to go ahead and just give a quick nod to the panel? Just say hello. I'm RDV. These are my co-hosts.
hi, I'm RDV. Below me is Bowtie Zach. And below him is Professor Pixel with the freaky long fingers. And below him is Eric Breen, who's chain smoking every single night. Because that's what people do in comic books. Wait, they don't anymore? Shit. But in this book, they do. I'm pretty much. So let's go with the Tomb of Dracula. We're in Halloween, basically Halloween season, I guess the month. So what better way to basically talk about one of the best books with one of the best writers, one of the best artists, with best cover artists as well.
And that's why we were talking about our mothers.
I'm confused. I thought we were doing this awesome omnibus.
He got it. Hey,
he got it. So Eric Breen got Common America, the omnibus from Tim Lim.
Omnibus. Very cool.
So
Awesome.
if you're ever watching this, Tim, and God knows why you would, thank you very much. I've already started it and loving it. All right.
There we go.
That's what Dracula
Back
said.
to the Tomb of Dracula.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, just like this stream, this will be sealed in the tomb forever.
Let's hope.
If only.
All right. So Stanley is editor on this, which eventually was taken over by, I saw it read by Roy Thomas. I saw a rumor that Roy Thomas is the plot for this one as well.
It's possible.
I know Stan is being the editor. We have Mean Gene Colan doing the art and the ink. You got Gerry or Gary Conway, whichever you prefer, doing the writing. It's like Sienkiewicz or Sienkiewicz. Everybody says a different thing.
No, there's Gary and there's Gerry. There's two R's. Two R's means Gerry.
I've met
What about that? No, you have not.
No, my friend's mother.
Not understand.
My friend's mother is with
Is it Gerry?
He's a beautiful woman.
Your friend's mom is Gerry?
Your friend's mom is Gary? What? No wonder you're confused.
I don't even know this woman, and I'm confused.
So Pixel. I mean, before Pixel goes any further.
The hot barmaid.
Stop right there. And we were talking a little bit about this last night on the Best of Comics, Best of the Week. Eric Breen was kind enough to go on there. So if you want to listen to when we talked about this, go back there and watch it for 15 minutes or continue with this.
And now we're going to stop the stream because we've already discussed this book. It's over.
No, so basically, as I pointed out to Breen, I said it's kind of cool. It's got that creepy, like the older Hammer kind of like feelings as far as the monster movies. You know, they go to the small village. There's the hot freaking ginger lady or blonde, you know, the waitress serving the drinks, and then she just basically just like, it seems so mysterious, downright creepy. And then there's the old guy, and just like, oh, you mean the Baron? The Baron's up there, but good luck. It's like, I love it.
I think when they decided to do this, I'm guessing Gerry Conway got about 20 minutes heads up. And so this reads like a Dracula movie. Obviously, it's lifted heavily from that. And it wasn't until Gardner Fox wrote his 4 issues and then Marv Wolfman took over that they really fleshed out what this series was going to become, because this is a fairly paint by numbers vampire story, but it's also it's an okay introduction to this comic, which I'm sure when they started, they had no idea it was going to last 70 issues and become as involved as it is. So for now, we are just talking basically about, it's basically a comic book adaptation of Dracula.
Well, yeah,
with some modern twists.
The nephew of Frank Drake basically inherits the castle, goes there with his girlfriend, or his former girlfriend, right?
No, the current girlfriend, Clifton's former girlfriend, who left him for Frank.
Yeah. So they go there. They're going to go to the castle. Of course, it's raining, and they're being on Ozzy wagon carriage, being pulled in the rain. I'm thinking if this is in Europe, that's got to be freaking cold. I know it gets cold up here when it gets, the winter weather and the rain. Like right now, it's freezing. But I gotta love the art in here, the rain splashing on the umbrella. I've always loved that stuff. We were talking about how Gene Colan used to do romance comic books. So when he draws women, they look like women.
She's a beautiful woman.
That's a beautiful woman.
And she's stacked.
Oh, she's a thick woman.
But like I said, I love that scene right here. Just the shadow, the rain, the horses galloping away, and they're kind of stuck there now. Okay, now where do we go?
Well, here we are.
Let's make up, baby. It's over. It's been over for months. Leave it alone. Clifton is such a creep.
We're not doing a reading here, man.
Check your DMs while I chain smoke here.
Oh no, I'm being yelled at by a guy who thinks he's Batman in the chat.
I don't think you have any room to talk about that. you don't have any room to talk about that.
I don't.
Everyone remembers Bad Arnold Bankman.
I remember Bad Arnold.
Everyone remembers Bad Arnold. That's two guys at once.
Yeah.
Whoa! You trying to say? Are you shaming me?
Kind
of. I am. I'm slut shaming.
Wait a second. Two guys at once. Marvel will give you your own title.
That's just an average day under the bridge for puppetry.
So
I don't know why he would bring a guy with him whose last name is Grave or Graves.
So I'm just confused though. I'm
Trek.
being accused of never reading the chat. This isn't Angleton. I don't read your chats. Give me a.
That's right.
He's far too important to read the chats.
Watch us,
getting
and appreciate our conversation.
All right, getting back before Pixel skips through the whole entire book. Yes.
Professor Skipsel.
Oh no, Skipseltash.
Skippertosh is here? Hey, twin.
Professor Skipseltash. So yeah, his friend Clifton he wants to get rich. That's his goal here. I mean, Frank is kind of like he's kind of reluctant to go, but he gets talked into it.
We left out where Frank blew his family's fortune.
Yeah.
So
wasn't it like $3 million or something?
$1 million, but $1 million was a lot of money in those days.
Yeah.
So he knows that his only shot at getting money again is to sell the castle he's inherited. And Clifton gets the idea, hey, if this was Dracula's castle, we've got a tourist attraction here.
Hey, Lorenzo.
I'm not sure how that works, but
it's like, hey, we could scare people, and they can pay us to scare them.
Well, as I said, the whole nature of the story feels like a '60s horror movie.
Yeah. No, we actually, if you remember, there was a reading of this book over on, I believe, I Love Comics.
Many moons ago.
A long time ago. Last year.
Last year, around Halloween.
Yep. And
I remember last year. I was in my 50s.
But no, it's really a good book.
Pixel had just got his deeper voice. Everything was so great.
Whenever he had a deeper voice.
Wait a second. Are we on next year's reading? Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to find me with the deeper voice. It's as
so.
low as it goes.
Swing low.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
Is this a review or is this making fun of Pixel?
It's whatever.
Both.
It's
We can do
whatever we
both.
decide to make it.
50s, hundreds. Ooh.
But no. With you're absolutely right. It does feel a lot like a classic vampire movie, but that is what is so great about it. I remember when we were first reading it last year, and it was just my breath was taken away. Just how much I was enjoying it.
I remember it too. There was some kind of like Dracula puppet on the reading.
Oh yeah,
Glad.
I guess there was, wasn't there?
Scary.
This prophet's looking more and more Batman.
One day you're gonna have a felt cap that covers your hair.
It'll be like one of those horror movies. Oh no, I'm
He's going to be like
now.
that Twilight Zone episode where Cliff Robertson becomes his dummy.
So the creepy castle. The only thing that's making from reading this book is maybe I actually want to go watch the old horror or Hammer with Christopher Lee and just seeing the soundstage, the preps.
Go
I
back
got
to
an
the
old
last
hammer
panel.
for you.
I like all the use of the shading. That it's really good
Hold
use
on.
of shading that they
Pixel,
use.
go back. Go back.
Go back.
Shut up, Clifton! You dirty rat!
Zach, shut up. We're actually trying to. Breen wants to
Yeah.
talk about
What are you doing? You're going back.
I want Pixel to do that scream.
Oh,
The that.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Shout out to Bats.
shout out to Bat.
He said.
Keep them away from your eyes.
I mean, on the Extreme Movie Show, we've done reviews over the horror Hammer films, you know. And like I say, just reading this, it does feel every beat by beat, you know, pretty much feels like you're watching a movie, and I don't think that hurts it. I mean, because the art is beautiful, you know, in this. Now you can say, look, yeah, maybe he kind of phoned it in, you know, for the first issue, but like I said, by a couple of issues later, it gets its groove. What is going on here? What are you laughing so like a freaking maniac? Just because
No, I'm laughing at Puppeteen's joke. He still owes Moon Knight his darn money.
Fucking nerd.
Where's my damn money?
That's fun.
All right, so going over the story here, we got basically Clifton's going in there, and Clifton actually ends up falling through the stairs.
Holy
Holy
crap!
crap.
The floor is giving away. I'm full.
Did his leg turn around though? Look at that.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
His legs. Look at his leg. Oh,
Kinda.
look!
Maybe.
I didn't snap a leg. I just twisted it back to where it was. Yeah, like I said, reading this as a kid, you know, when it came out, I can imagine, you know, before we had all those watching TV. This is kind of creepy. So
Yeah, all the the heavy shadows, the heavy shading, really, I mean, it really does give this book kind of its own unique fingerprint, kind of.
Gene Colan is so adept at shading that it almost detracted from his straight superhero comics, because he was also the regular artist on Iron Man for the second half of Tales of Suspense. And he's to me, he's perfectly suited for this title. Of all the Gene Colan art, and I've pretty much seen all of it, this was what he was best suited for.
And this is the typical horror cliche. The guy's like, "Oh, I sprung it rich." He's got the gun in his hand, and it's like, "No, bro."
No, the typical horror trope is coming up on the next page.
I know.
It's like, what a Dumas.
Dracula. Huh.
It's Mr. Bones.
I know Batman is talking to Palpatine. But no, he's right. This is a very readable book. I'm trying
Yeah.
not to get sucked in while we're trying to talk about it, rather than.
Try talking about it
Dracula
instead.
sucked in.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't honestly expect that. Just he'd be in a skeletal form. I expected the body, but once he pulls that out, just this whole transformation scene that's coming is.
Yeah, this
So
this is a cool series of panels here.
So what is your favorite part? Is this your favorite part here then? You'd say the transformation?
I'd say it's one of my favorite parts. I don't know if I'd say my favorite, but it is a very memorable part.
I gotta say, my favorite part going all the way through this is actually the very ending, how it leaves on kind of like a cliffhanger, like that. The way it ends, I was like, "Wow, this intrigued me, and that hooked me right away." I wanted to read the second issue.
The years have been long, and I am weary of them. Yes.
It looks like he's missing an eyeball there with the shading and that.
The sweet nectar of life itself.
Mountain Dew.
Blood!
Mountain Dew, exactly. Maranya says
but
she's.
Pause right here, though.
I'm already paused. Wasn't this one of the first true vampire books allowed when the comic code was revised?
Yes, it was the first because they tested the waters the year before with Morbius, but he was a science-based vampire, not supernatural.
Yeah,
and his bite couldn't, create vampires. So Morbius was brought. The code was beginning to relax at that time because that was right after the drug issues. But it was right around that time that the code kind of traded its fangs in for dentures. So that's when the comic industry just flooded the market with horror titles.
How's it going?
Down the well you go. He throws him.
Sorry, Zach, you're too loud.
Did you? What was I?
I was trying to say hello to little Rhaegar down there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not reading Fantastic Four. We're not reading Fantastic Four. You're not Froggy.
You've never talked over me at all, ever.
I love how Dracula is basically, bye, bitch.
Yeah. I gotta say that can you imagine just coming into being a person in actual real life and actually just walking into this and then experience this horror? And then the only person next to you is Zach with a freaking bow tie.
I like how Dracula is like, there are other people in this house, and one's a woman. Like he's sending for this woman he hasn't even met yet.
No, I am appalled by his blatant heteronormative attitude.
Right? Why isn't he excited about Clifton?
Blah, blah, blah.
Why are you such a misandrist, Dracula? Why don't you acknowledge the man in the room? Freaking straighty? I don't know.
I haven't felt the touch of a woman in years.
Well, that does. You just saying that doesn't really go well with the Jackson Roy Kirk saying about Eric.
Yeah, thanks, Jackson. I love you like cancer, brother.
He was saying that about playing Dracula.
So some notes about this. Apparently, before this, Dracula's first appearance, I guess, was in the Suspense 7. Something like that by Alice Comics, like in 1953.
Oh yeah, he'd been in other comics, but they were, Dell did an adaptation of the Dracula movie, but it was very homogenized because Dell was so squeaky clean that they didn't even have to register with the comics code after the Wortham trials. But this was the first one that truly portrayed him as, someone who kills people, drinks blood, et cetera, and it was just implied in the other ones.
Batman, I have a pixel-sized finger for you. Right here. Right here,
guys? Can we please keep this fucking civil? All right, this is a family show.
I'm picturing Pixel driving that finger into the heart of Dracula, ending his threat forever.
It's long enough to count as a steak. Come to me, my dear. No, there's something about his eyes, his special eyes.
I wasn't talking to her.
Don't try to stop me, Frank.
I'm going to turn my own great descendant into a cock.
Let me unbutton another button, Frank.
I know. As the story goes on, it's like her shirt becomes more and more unbuttoned.
The Hank Pin puncher. You know, we
Yep.
got that. I gotta say though, Jeannie went from Frank to Clifton, not to Dracula.
Yeah, she hopped
wanted
around.
she wanted back in the Drake family.
She hopped around.
She's
And
undead.
then skirt hikes up a little bit too with each panel. It's like this comes undone, and then the skirt hikes up with each panel.
What are you, the moral majority?
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just pointing out.
Yeah, hey, Venkman, when did Pixel join Right to Censor? I mean, when did Zach join Right to Censor?
I don't know.
I'm not saying it needs to be censored. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just pointing out a fact.
You're either for it or against it.
I don't even see Zach. All I see is that giant bow tie. I don't see anything else.
It's not even giant. This is like a normal size bow tie.
Bill Knight, a science guy with them.
I don't have suspenders. And he's an engineer. He's not a scientist. He only has an engineer's degree.
He's a lawyer, just like you.
Now this is the saddest part of the book. Alas,
random woman.
R.I.P. the hot barmaid.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen a Hammer Dracula movie?
No.
The barmaids are the red shirts of Dracula movie.
Yeah. All I can say is those
gams.
Oh, Otto.
Oh no.
But did you notice she was wearing sensible shoes?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
Didn't help her get away from Dracula, but
I was about to say they didn't help her at all.
not a bit.
Look at this guy. This guy's
That's
like
not stopping him from getting his drink on.
You know, right?
Of course, the townspeople from Transylvania, they're
Yeah,
always
I'll
quick to
catch
get
up
their
to you
bow
guys.
ties.
I'm gonna go stay behind in the bar. Make sure we know he steals the alcohol.
Gotta keep it safe.
So I like that there's still, the mob with pitchforks alive and well in 1972.
Yep. Well, these guys must be like the Amish because they don't even have cars. They have horses and buggies.
Now I gotta say though, this guy is a predator. He needs to be canceled. I just preying on women. Just killing them.
Oh, if Dracula were real, Twitter would have canceled him right out of the gate.
Wait, so who's more likely to get canceled though, Dracula or Frank or her for having the crucifix around her because she's being kept safe by God?
Frank Drake counted. It used to be Dracula.
It would just be cancel Palooza here.
I know it's like they cancel each other out. The two cancellation things. Anyway, yeah, I like this bit too because Dracula's like, "You think you're gonna kill me with a wooden stake? Guess again."
I would like to go for a nice big steak, medium rare.
And now he's appearing to his vanity. The fact that Dracula can't see his own reflection. That is just cruel. He's harassing him.
But that's not what makes him stand away, though. It's
There's a lot of toxic misogyny going on in this, and he's not even on the panel yet. I'm surprised.
I like how he just throws it at his head.
Yeet!
Pretty much.
I can't believe it.
He throws his only defense. The idiot hits him in the head. A compact beer.
Way to go, Frank.
The fact that he actually knows what a compact beer is in 1972. Dracula.
Everybody knew what a Look, there goes another button.
Dracula was a skeleton.
The buttons gotta go. Whoa.
Well, he might not have known it was a compact, but he knew it was a mirror and he knew it was silver. So
he knew it was silver. Yeah, that's the big part. Yeah.
He said all he said was compact, so he didn't say mirror. But angry. So keeping with the trait, yes, obviously we know what's going to happen.
Right.
She's getting bitten. And then
he hypnotizes her into taking off her crucifix.
No Jesus here.
Nope. Out the window. And then
Well,
the yodel guy finds it.
I can't-
Yep. And they show up and they're very quick to burn down. There goes Frank's tourist
Are you
attraction.
kidding? If Dracula was done today, he would pretty much be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go for Cliff. I don't care about Genie."
Hey.
He picks up the. Now, hold on. Now, that compact's been sitting in a fire. This guy should be like that little Nazi guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark where he picks it up and it burns his
Since this
hand.
place is doomed to burn, I'll burn you with it. Feel the burn.
But he walks out with Genie. He saved her life. Dracula's gone. There's a happy ending.
But then we see
What?
Genie. Typical
Genie's-
woman.
Genie got some big old. Oh, no, she's dead. Never mind.
Frankie,
No.
Frankie, don't cry.
Oh,
I'm
nope.
not dead. See, I'm not. When you're bitten by a vampire, you don't die. You never die.
That's
Just like
creepy.
Ronnie's tree. It never.
Ronnie's tree is a vampire. And dude, that's such a sad ending because it's like, okay, she turns into a vampire and then she just disappears into the
Well,
mist.
no, she took
Okay.
the.
He is
Now-
cooked. He's
now-
cooked.
You do okay. Here's this is where
The
just in
Lord.
case this would have only lasted like an issue or two,
Mhm.
they needed to move the story along, so
Yeah.
they kind of waived the 3-day rule.
Exactly, the 3 days was the thing. Was
Yeah, so I guess it's
Oh,
a 3-minute
okay.
rule for this issue.
And then she
Gotcha.
has to feed the fully turn, otherwise she dies.
Well, yeah, he must have. Dracula must have been moving pretty quick there because he had time to bite himself, make her drink that part, and then
Wait, did he drink that ginger and then spit it into her mouth?
I don't
Here,
know.
baby.
But
That's how you get diseases.
that notwithstanding, and don't cry for Frankie, like Jeannie said, he ends up banging Rachel Van Helsing until
Nice.
Dracula kills her in X-Men Annual 6.
Sad.
Then you can cry for
wah.
But the best part about it is later on in the series we get Hannibal King.
But we gotta wait a while for that.
Doesn't Blade make his first appearance in a Dracula book?
Issue
10.
10.
Yeah.
Issue 10? I just found out recently that he is from London, actually. Like, his character is from London.
I've mentioned that before.
Did you?
Hello.
Okay.
That's been forgotten. But
Well,
I'm
your
not-
name's
yeah.
Wesley Snipes. No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Wesley Snipes. I was like, wait, he doesn't sound like he's from London.
London, not Brisbane.
Well, no, that's why they changed it though, because of Snipes in the comic books. They made him basically American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this book's great. I love it.
Yes.
Like for a single issue,
Yeah.
obviously there's more. I haven't read any of that, but for the single issue, it's a fantastic start. I know we talked about quite a few comics first issue, their premiere issues. I think this might be the best one that we've talked about. Just it is unbelievably solid. Just from the tropes to how it's written, it's fantastic. Art, beautiful, shading. You're damn right. It is a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, there's a lot wrong with you.
There was a lot at stake when they decided to do this. You know that.
A lot of
It could have really sucked.
They couldn't eat any. They couldn't have any garlic bread until they finished the book. I heard.
everybody say hello to Gratu.
Hello, Grato.
Blah, blah,
Welcome.
Actually, so I was telling them I found the second comic shop in my city today, and I actually saw they had it was like one of those big essentials collections, but it was Tomb of Dracula.
So,
Almost.
so
got it.
Brian, how much does this actually go for you? This is obviously the reprint for $4.
Several hundred now.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I kind of figured that being a popular book, but I saw it it's only $4 for me, and it's still a good book.
Batman saying the Frankenstein book is just as good, and the puppets will be reading that book after this.
I can't go that far, but it was good. But unfortunately, it only lasted 18 issues.
Aw.
But if you want to see Frankie fully integrated into the Marvel Universe, read Marvel Team Up 36 and 37. 36 is Spider-Man, the Frankenstein monster. and then they add the man wolf for issue 37.
What about the one where Frank Castle becomes the Frankenstein monster?
Not
don't
quite
think
the
about
same
that.
thing. And Frankenstein, and for Maranya, Frankenstein pops up in Iron Man 102, I believe, 101, 102.
This is why we have Breen around. He actually knows things.
We just have Breen on. Well, for that, but why do we have Zach on?
I thought I was here for
You-
my cheerful disposition.
You invited me, sir.
I didn't send you a link tonight, did I?
No, it was
Not
me.
tonight. Not tonight, no.
What I'm more concerned with is who's sending that tie.
What's up with the tie? This is my Marvel bow tie, too. I wore the Marvel tie because we're talking about a Marvel book.
Marvel bow tie. Watch out for
I
her.
thought you were wearing a bow tie because Dracula did. Where's the opera cape in the?
I don't have a cape.
Marvel
I thought
bow
about
tie.
getting one, but wait, what?
you got?
Marvel
boy
Marvel
tie?
bow
Hercules?
tie. Bow tie.
Yeah, or Jackson's bringing, or who's bringing? Yeah, Batman's bringing up werewolf series. We talked about that a little bit last night too. Batman.
Batman, I don't hate you. I hate everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't single yourself out. You're not special.
That's true.
Uh,
Was that Alicia? Oh.
Oh no!
Alicia will be making an appearance later this evening.
Maybe.
You will not see it, but you will. No, yeah, Werewolf by Night. We talked about that a little bit last night. That was also a really good series.
Yep.
But Dracula, I think, was the best. I mean, it lasted the longest. Werewolf by Night actually went out, because everybody remembers that's where Moon Knight was introduced.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the last two issues of the series was a two-parter with Iron Man.
Oh.
And by that time, Jack Russell had gained control of the wolf. And there's a scene where Jarvis meets, the werewolf. He basically goes, I can't help myself. He like scritches the top of his head. It's like, it just shows the werewolf like wanting to rip his head off. But it's like,
Biscuit? Biscuit? The wolf.
Jarvis is that guy that has to pet everyone's dog.
Yes.
Confirmed.
And that's how Jarvis survived, unlike Alfred.
Batman, no! Batman, no.
Remember, Morbius broke into her apartment once, and she started feeling his face, and he
I
forgot
don't
about
remember
biting
that.
her. Marvel 2-in-1, number 15,
I
where
forgot.
they fight the living eraser. And
Cancel
yes,
culture.
that's exactly what powers are.
They fought cancel culture.
I love comic books. I just sometimes forget how
They're so great.
the living eraser.
I'm pretty sure he was created by Vince Coletta.
That's bad. Even
Dare-
Kirby's pissed in his grave right now hearing that.
Dare I say, Eraser? I never knew her.
Considering the
That-
shape of it, you might be very familiar with that.
Well, that was only in the Gil Kane variant.
Eh.
Oh, but that being said, talking about the cover though, that actually is Neal Adams' awesome art on the cover. And I was kind of sad because you did not have Gil Kane. We could have had 3 Gs.
Speaking of, I started going through that magazine collection today.
Yep.
And I was looking through. It was either a creepy or a Vampirella. I saw Vampirella 2 and 3, I think, for the first
Nice.
time in person today.
Wow.
Wow.
And number 1 could just be in any random box of the other 59. That's how he took care of things.
Well, just randomly send it to me then.
There was a story that was written by Denny O'Neil, drawn by Neal Adams, and inked by Steve Englehart,
Wow.
who I don't know if you knew, was an artist before he realized,
Writer.
as an artist, he's a really good writer.
Yeah. But that's cool when you see like people who normally don't, start off as artists and just start doing writing. Like
Yeah.
Englehart, I I didn't know he was even an
Oh,
artist.
his art credits, there may be 2 or 3 total.
Like Roy Thomas, apparently there's a. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but according to the Marvel fandom site, I was reading up about this. Roy Thomas is supposed to be uncredited for doing the plot for this this issue. But it is credited as far as being later on the next couple of issues as being the editor after Stan Lee kind of stepped down.
Yeah, this is right around the time Stan stepped down as editor-in-chief to become the publisher.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, having Roy Thomas on any book, giving ideas, because Roy Thomas has a lot of cool ideas.
Yeah.
Sadly, not all of them took off.
But sadly, some of them got canceled, like All-Star Squadron after 50 issues.
67, but who's counting?
Oh, was it 67? I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought 50. Okay, 67.
I mean,
I was rounding down.
I mean, this kind of does look kind of like a Gil Kane nose on the girl.
No, the nose is going up. You're not looking up the nose.
You still are because she's leaning backwards.
No, but the nose is upside down though.
Here, now it's better.
There you go. There you go. Now it works.
Here's your Gil Kane nose.
Yeah, this was really cool. This isn't my normal comic book type of read. I normally, like when I read comics, I typically stick to the capes or starting to branch into like the crime or noir books, the supernatural stuff.
Dracula has a cape.
He has a cape right there.
Superheroes.
In fact, some of the people in there and the other characters were wearing capes over their suits.
Superheroes. Let me. Capes was shorthand for superheroes.
Well, then, check out Giant-Size Spider-Man #1, where he doesn't actually meet Dracula, but they're both in the story, and they keep the story intersects. He does meet him as Peter Parker.
Okay.
And Tomb of Dracula 50, he fights the Silver Surfer.
That sounds
and
cool,
one of the
actually.
most improbable stories in the history of Marvel Comics to that point. But
I was going to say that plot's starting to sound like misconnection there. They're in the same story, but they keep missing each other.
Well, it was on a cruise ship, and Dracula there was this doctor come up with this thing that would make Dracula's life suck or whatever. So he decided to kill the doctor, and everybody thinks the doctor is one person. And it turns out to be somebody else.
Wow.
But yeah, Spider-Man's off doing his thing. Dracula's doing his thing, and
I see. Ironically, in 1975, there was a cruise ship with a werewolf on it.
I thought that was 74.
I'm pretty sure it was 75. Maybe
it was 74 because it was only the 5th episode. They were probably already getting their cancellation notice by then. But wrap it up, boys.
That's what your mummy said. Let's go on. Any comments, questions about the book?
Oh, you don't ask about the comments.
I said I don't know if you've been here the whole time. Thank you, loving it.
There we go.
Right on.
Because the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, just a lot of talk about Alicia. Surprising amount about Alicia.
Alicia's got quite a fan base over here.
You know, she can't see anything you write about her, right, Batman?
It's true. Neither can Daredevil, but nobody talks about Daredevil.
Daredevil she brought up Gene Colan drew dozens of issues of Daredevil too.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There we go.
And he did lighten it up a little bit for that. But like I said, I still say Dracula was his best overall work of his career, in my opinion.
I can agree with that.
Because unfortunately, as artists get older, especially when they have a unique style, it kind of goes south. Yeah, you saw it with John Romita Jr. Honestly, but Gene Colan's got real loose as he got older. Gil Kane, his art, wasn't the greatest there at the end. Both of them needed a lot of inking help towards the end, but Colan still had a lot of good pencils in him when he did this series, and it's very consistent all the way through.
He had pencils in him. That's very impressive that he was able to do that with, pencils just
Why?
sticking through.
Why can't the living eraser be real? It'd be standing behind you right now.
Nope. Not happening. Sorry about that.
Pixel is the living eraser. See those
I
fingers?
erased everybody's want to stick around.
Gene the Pinkish and Colon. All right. Anything else? Any other interesting facts about the books you want to share with us, Breen, at all, or just
No, I was gonna say, unfortunately, with the value of number 1, number 3, because for whatever reason, a lot of the old series, the print run was significantly lower on issue 3. It was like the first one was a lot, second one was down a little bit, and the third one was like, just in case it's canceled, we'll make it real low. And the Blade first appearance number 10. This is not a cheap series to acquire, but there are trades in print for the entire series.
Yeah.
And I definitely recommend that because I said as horror series go, it really is as good as it gets. And it's a very good read all the way through. And about halfway through the series, he finally makes it to America. And the second half of the series is set in Boston.
Oh, cool.
I'm glad that I've read it.
He even has a cameo in Ms. Marvel issue 14.
Interesting.
Right.
Wait, Frank or Dracula?
Dracula.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember the Avengers Defenders War,
Yes.
he's in one panel of that too.
I just came to place my bets.
And I'll tell you how old this story is. The panel next to him, only getting one panel in this major story, was Thanos, because Thanos was no big deal at the time.
Oh, to be in those days.
Have you read it in black and white though? That's because Batman says that it works.
Well,
better in black and white.
I can see that.
See that. Now, there was a Dracula Lives magazine series, and then there was a 6-issue Tomb of Dracula series in the late 70s, and those had no code restrictions. So if you want to see what he's talking about, check out those. I think the Dracula Lives might be reprinted in these.
so?
The updated versions of these.
So I gotta ask though, did you ever read that other comic book back in 2001? It's called Before the Fantastic Four, The Storms. It's supposed to take a flashback taking place of Dracula after issue 15 of Tomb of Dracula. There's a story right after that.
No.
Oh, I'm just saying it's connected though. I was looking at stuff. They have that, but yeah, Dracula bites the dust again. Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dust is very biteable.
But yeah, I mean, obviously there's probably an omnibus out here somewhere. If there's not, there should
There
be.
were, but
There
they're
is.
out of print and they're hundreds of dollars.
What, man?
Yeah.
Those paperbacks are the way to go.
The
Yeah.
Masterworks was that?
No, they're
Is it a Masterworks or is it like an
no,
Essentials?
they're neither.
Oh, okay.
They look like Epic Collections, but the horror books, for whatever reason, aren't in the Epic Collection line.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Interesting.
Because that'd be great to have. We can have like the Marvel horse characters all in one giant book, going through, and just like taking like select stories.
Yeah, they did that, I think, in one of the Essentials. But it might have just been all the ones that didn't have enough to fill Essentials.
All right. I think since you're the only one talking about the book, there two are just giggling little schoolgirls. I think we'll call it here.
Hey! I've said things.
I said things
Words.
too.
And then you're like
Jeez.
you're like the kids in the back of the class where the teacher's talking. And you're like, hey, look at this! That's so cool.
Well, no, it was because of you. You said horror stories, and all I could think was, oh no, we're reading Early Fantastic Four again with Eric Breen. No.
Jackson, I'm fed up with you.
Gerry's the only one talking.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Book's
Okay,
good.
everybody
Book's great.
breathe.
If you
Book
are
is
not,
great.
if you have not read this book, what are you doing with your life? You should rethink that. Go get a reprint of it. Read it. It's definitely worth $4.99. It's worth any other.
Even if you can't find the physical copy, you can get it on Comixology for relatively cheap. I got the first issue. It's like $1.60 for me on Amazon. So
Hey Jackson, it's like in sports. They don't catch the guy that commits the penalty, they catch the guy that retaliates.
It hasn't changed the same color. I think you're just getting old and senile.
I think it's always been brown, hasn't it?
Always been this color.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I don't think it's ever not been
I think
brown.
it used to be lighter.
Oh,
I don't think so.
No?
Maybe his beard used to be more brown. His beard's gotten lighter.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
my beer's also getting emptier. I need to go.
They aren't young like us, Zach.
No, that's the reason I shave all the time, because if it grows out, it looks almost like his. There's a lot of white and gray hairs that grow.
God.
But anyway.
Read it or you suck, indeed.
Yes. There is a lot at stake.
Have a good evening.
Blah, blah, blah.
Now, he
There is a chance that some of the members of the Fantastic Four may acquire Transylvanian accents in this next reading.
I can make no promises.
It's
We'll
only
have to wait.
read the other one beforehand real quickly. So that being said, since we're past our time, so we're gonna end this right now and then stay tuned because the puppets are coming back.
Damn puppets.
And Eric Reed as well, because we all know that Zach is a puppet.
I am. There are strings on me. You just can't see them.
I can't wait to hear them read.
This is where you pretend to be two different entities again.
All right.
You creepy little bastard.
May inner monologue saying good night and goodbye.
And good luck. And good riddance to you.